What's up, guys? Welcome back to Carnegie Studios. It is day 21 of our beginner piano series. The last day. Yay! Woohoo! You made it. So, in this lesson, we're going to be talking about a beginner's practice routine. What does it entail? Let's jump right into it. So, we have covered a myriad of topics that are foundational and crucial to your foundation as a beginner piano player. How do we put this into a practice routine that will keep you learning, keep you interested, and keep you moving forward and growing in confidence? And so I'm just going to lay out a framework of things to know and things to practice as you continue on your journey. The first thing we'll be covering is things to know. By now, you should know all the names of the keys. You should be able to name all 12 of them. C, C sharp, D flat, D, D sharp, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G flat, G, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat, B, and then back to C. Those are critical. If you don't know the names of the notes on the piano, go back, practice them, because that is the foundation of everything so that you can be able to play easily. Now that you know the names, you should be able to know, hey, what are the accidentals and what are the three different chord types that we have, right? Major chord, minor chord, diminished chord, and augmented. The next thing to work on is the scales. As you're learning and as you start this journey, you don't have to memorize all of them, but start working towards memorization and start practicing that. And then finally, your chords and your chord inversions and your chord progressions as well. So what does all that mean? Let's group them into three different areas so that you can be able to practice them efficiently. So you sit down at the piano and you're like, okay, I want to practice. I'm a beginner. I want to practice. What do I practice? First things first, you want to practice what you can handle. So we're going to take one scale. We're going to take one chord type. We're going to take one chord progression. We're going to sit down and we're going to take a look at it. Okay, I'm going to be practicing the C major scale. So one chord for every 3 days maybe is something that can be manageable so that you can commit it to memory before moving on. Because the last thing you want to do is forget what you just practiced and it's like you didn't practice at all. So we'll take the C major scale. You'll want to practice the scales, the C major chord, triad, minor chord, diminished, and then the augmented chord. So you also want to know the notes in your scale too. That's one thing not to forget. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then finally, you want to practice a chord progression within that key and something that is a simple chord progression. So the 1, 4, 5, 1 or 1, 4, 6, 5. Some chord progression that you can be able to commit to memory and that you can practice. That is going to be something that when you take and you practice it, it will take you a long way. So you sit down at the piano, you've got all these things you're supposed to practice. How should I group them? And so this is how I'll do it. My recommendation for practicing daily is at least 30 minutes. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, so I would say 30 to 45 minutes tops. You don't want to be there for hours because then you get diminishing returns. So 30 to 45 minutes daily. If you can't do it every day, fine. Practice 3 to 5 times a week. Shoot for that so that you can be able to retain the information and that you don't forget. So those 30 minutes, of those 30 minutes, I'll take 10 minutes and I'll do some warm-up exercises, right? So I'll do the pentascale. I'll do that in both hands. I can practice ascending scales, ascending and descending scales, so that your hands and your fingers warm up. And so that's 5-10 minutes there. Another 10 minutes is specifically the scale that you're practicing. So practice that scale. So if I'm going to be practicing the C major scale, I'll do this. I'll practice the scale. I'll do it just ascending. I'll do it descending. I can practice with octaves. So I'm familiarizing myself with that skill in different ways so that I can become confident in playing that. So scales. And then the next thing would be practicing chords, your chords, the major chord. And you can take one chord type and practice the inversions of that chord type. So I'll take a major chord, major C, and I'll practice the C major inversions. That's the other thing. And then finally, your chord progressions, and you can practice that. My recommendation when you get to the chord progressions specifically is practice with a metronome. You want to practice with the metronome so that you can keep yourself in time and so that you can be able to translate that to a song. So if you're able to practice that with 4/4 time signature or 3/4 or 6/8, that's something that you'll be able to take and apply to whatever song that you're going to play. 2 more bonus tips to practice is, number 1, pick a song, a simple song that you can take the chord progression of and practice, right? You can read the chord chart or you can try and listen for it. That's the next step that you want to take in terms of challenging yourself so that you can be able to play a song by ear. So yeah, take a song and practice that chord progression. That will begin to add to your repertoire. And also practice simple melodies. Learn Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or Mary Had a Little Lamb in the right hand, right? You want to begin to learn those simple melodies because that is the next step of joining melody and chords together so that you can harmonize them and things of the sort like that. And so there you have it, folks. A beginner's practice routine, a beginner's guide to practicing. Practice your scales, practice your chords, your chord inversions, and your chord progressions, and that will take you a long way. Another thing, all the topics that I've covered in these last 21 days, you want to practice them. There are things that you want to commit to memory and that will help you in your journey. Playing piano isn't just sitting down and playing a chord or a chord progression. It is a myriad of things that make up a song that you want to play. The key signature, the time signature, the style, whether you're going to play with inversions, whether you're going to improvise over it. All of that is going to come together through the foundational topics that you learn. And a lot of those topics are what I've covered. The majority of those topics are what I've covered in this 21-day series. So if you are confused about anything, go back and watch those videos. That's what they're there for. That is going to help bolster your knowledge and your vocabulary of your things to practice and topics for foundational skills. There you have it, folks. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.